wanted to hop on here and let you know that I am okay. I know I have been MIA, and I know I say that like every time on this channel, and I really got to get better about that. I am going to get better about that. But I just wanted to really hop on here just really quickly and just check in with you, let you know what I was up to, and introduce the vlog. So basically, you know, at the top of the new year, I got some test results from my doctor that really made me take a step back and really focus on my diet and my health. It wasn't like any, you know, like majorly bad news or anything like that, but you know, definitely something that I need to pay attention to, be mindful of, and like properly manage. And it's basically, you know, my body was deficient in a few key vitamins and minerals, and as a result it was leaving me prone to fatigue and depression, which I'm actually really glad that I realized that, because I thought it was me and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Like I thought I was lazy, I thought I was ungrateful, you know, and I thought, like people say, I just didn't want it as bad as I say I do. But actually, it's that my body didn't have the energy to do the things that I needed to do. And what was happening was I was like powering through those things and doing them, but like it really left me like exhausted and depleted. So I was really grateful to actually find that out so that I could, you know, just really prioritize my health. I really had to be intentional about making sure that I'm eating the foods that I need to eat, that I'm making sure that I have a system in place that allows me to do that. And the good news is that by the grace of God, I have been able to move into a hybrid position. So that gives me a little bit more time to just really focus on implementing those systems and like maintaining those systems. And as a result of that, I've been able to put a lot of like, you know, time, energy, and focus into my home life, which is actually in turn helping me to put work systems in place. And I mean, that's the name of the game. So I am grateful. I'll probably go into a little bit more detail about those systems, maybe like later on in the vlog, or like maybe in another vlog. I'll lay out those systems, like what they are, but I just want to preface it by saying that like my first and foremost system, so to speak, that all of my systems rest on is my relationship with God. So it's really important for me to make sure that I'm tuned into God, that I am connected to God, that I am prioritizing God, so that I'm able to even like focus on these three systems: my health system, my home system, and my work system. I'll go into that like later. I just really wanted to hop on here, check in, let you know like, girl, I'm okay, I'm alive and well. Also wanted to introduce the vlogs to you. The purpose of these vlogs is for me to hold myself accountable to doing the things that I need to do. Those things that help me keep my systems in place, like keep my ships moving forward. Things like what we're about to do now: go to the grocery store, making sure that I'm getting the food that I need to eat, that I'm meal prepping the foods that I need to eat, and I'm eating the foods that I need to eat. Just really doing those things that I need to do to keep myself moving forward. And of course, one of those things is creating my content around politics, pop culture, and personal development. I'm someone that believes that form follows function. If I'm creating content around, you know what I mean, like grocery hauls and meal prepping, and I'm already in that rhythm and that motion and that mode, like naturally I'm going to get it done for my other content. So that's like the goal or the theme behind these vlogs, just really holding myself accountable. Also, like I guess like a big theme of the vlogs is me reclaiming my femininity. And that's something that I was like really focused on when I lived in Atlanta. And since then, I haven't really, until now, I haven't really been in a position where I'm really settled and able to recommit to that. But now that I am, I want to do it, and I want to document that journey. As you can see now, like I'm sitting here with like a ball cap on, a t-shirt, and you know, I do believe that femininity is much more than just like what you wear. But the three things that I want to focus on as far as my femininity is, one, just really reconnecting with my spirit and my inner woman, and really building her up, really building up that woman of faith, you know, that inner woman of faith, because I believe that femininity is the manifestation and the responsibility of that. So it's really important for me to connect to that. And then also it's very important for me to start taking better care of my skin. Like, it's actually crazy to me, but I never used to like focus on skincare. Like, skincare and makeup was never my thing. Like, I completely missed that boat, which maybe we'll like dive into that a little bit later on in the vlog, where I kind of really dive into, you know, this whole femininity journey. But I'm getting to the age now where I'm like, girl, you better start paying attention to your skin, and you're taking care of your skin. So that's a big part of this journey. And then I also want to elevate my style so that I'm not just always in ball caps and t-shirts and sweatpants. You know, I want to transition from a teenage tomboy to a sophisticated woman, you know, and a sophisticated woman of God, who's on a mission, you know. And yeah, I just really want to document that process, because I want to hold myself accountable to that. And, you know, if it helps inspire other people who might be in like my same situation, where, you know, they're just really like teenage tomboys, and they kind of feel like it's time to elevate and move into like womanhood, but you really don't know where to go or how to start. I just want you to feel like, you know, you have someone that's doing it with you. So I really want you to join me on this journey of like vlogging. As much as I'd like to believe that I'm like independent and like a lone wolf and a loner and all that other stuff, I really see that I really do need community to do the things that I need to do. So I am inviting you to do those things with me. So you want to go to the grocery store with me? Yeah? Okay, cool. Come on, let's go. I hate waiting for the bus. I did go to Trader Joe's, but I found out that they have like a no video and photography policy, so I couldn't get any footage in there. And honestly, I was a little afraid to pull out my camera anyway, but I did go. I guess I'll have to do a Trader Joe's haul. All right, bye. Ooh, girl. Okay. So I am home. I did not really want to do a haul, but anyway, I cannot go to Trader Joe's without getting flowers. Normally, I really don't get flowers like this just because I don't like them. I normally get lilies, but I'm starting to notice that lilies are too fragrant for me. They actually give me a headache, and I hate that because I love lilies. They smell so good. Be really healthy and create like my own salad mix. So I don't even know if this is what you're supposed to use. Look, y'all, this is mini pearl grape tomatoes. Look how big these things are. That's why I really don't like, nah, like a lot of this food is GMO. So yeah, so that was just a quick little haul. Yeah, so I guess the next step is we gotta make all this stuff, girl, but we're gonna do that tomorrow. let's wrap up this vlog. So I am about to do, I would say my first gua sha routine, but actually this is my third gua sha routine. I've tried to film this now 3 times. The first time the camera cut off. The second time I just couldn't get into like the flow. So now this is my third time. So let me just give you like a little bit of history. I became obsessed like 2 or 3 years ago with getting a facelift. Not for real, but like I said, I'm getting to a certain age and I just looked in the mirror one day and I was like, oh my God, I need a facelift. But you know, I just felt like my face wasn't as like tight and taut as it used to be. So I don't know, I became very self-conscious about it. And about maybe like a year or 2 ago, I discovered this gua sha tool from it was either Kyra Amanique or Aaliyah's Face, or it may have been like a combination of the both of them. I found this device from them and I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is my facelift here. So let me show you what it looks like. This is the gua sha tool. I picked this up from Sephora and this is what the actual tool looks like. And it's cute, it's rose quartz. And I figured I would take this time to dive into this femininity journey and what, you know, like inspired it or motivated it. And I am actually going to set a timer because I like to talk and I don't want this video to be too long because I'm actually trying to leave out to catch a bus to New York, which you'll actually see in the next vlog. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. Okay, so I don't wanna get like too in the weeds with it, but basically, oh, actually I'm jumping. Oh, maybe I should stop the timer. Let me stop the timer. So let me tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. So before you use this device, it's really important for you to have like a smooth surface so that this tool can just glide over your skin. Because if your skin is dry, it'll actually have the opposite effect of what you're trying to achieve. So I am going to use this vitamin C serum here. Y'all, when I tell you I love this vitamin C serum, I was set up on a subscription, an Amazon subscription with it, but they discontinued it and I'm like so mad because I love this serum. To me, it just seems like it's just a natural serum. Oh, let me show you. This is what it looks like when it comes out in your hand. It's just, I don't know, it just seems really like pure. So I'm really mad that they're discontinuing it. Oh, and it also has hyaluronic acid in it, which, if you don't know, hyaluronic acid is like the magic ingredient when it comes to having glass skin. And it's so true. I'll probably have to reapply this because it might dry out. Because I want to start on my neck. And I usually don't put this on my eyes, but when I get to my eyes, I notice it feels a little dry. So, okay. So, oh, and then I also have my little routine here that I'm following along with. Let me put her on mute though. Oh, okay. So basically, what inspired this journey is I have always been a tomboy. You know, growing up, I was always a tomboy. And for whatever reason, I rebelled against my mother. And my mother is a very feminine woman. So, you know, I just never really grew out of that tomboy stage, I guess. Oh, so let me also say, I grew up between my mom and my dad. My mom lived up north, my dad lived down south. So see, it's getting, this probably was not the best serum to use for this. Yeah, this was not a good idea to use. So maybe I should wait a minute, let this dry. I'm gonna have to let this dry. I'm back. So I just let this vitamin C dry for a little minute. Now I'm about to use this Spa Life Hyaluronic Pearl Serum. I love this stuff. And this time I'm just gonna do it by sections. So I'm gonna start with my neck. So I'm just gonna put this on my neck. And this is what I would do anyway from like my face routine. So Uh-oh. This. As I was saying, I grew up, and I'm not going to look at you, I'm going to look at my mirror here in front of me. So I basically grew up a tomboy. And for whatever reason, I didn't have the best relationship with my mom growing up. And my mom is a very feminine woman. Even though she's very feminine, she was never into like makeup. I've never seen my mom in the mirror putting on makeup. But like all the other stuff, the wigs, the fashion, the jewelry, the perfume, like all that was her thing. And she took pride in it, okay? Which is probably why I kind of rebelled against it. Because I was like, why do you take pride in that? But as I get older, I get it now. And so when I got to high school, so then also growing up, I split time between my mom and my dad. And my dad lived down south, my mom lived up north. So I was back and forth between north and south. And at the time, like when I was around like middle school, early high school, like the style, especially middle school, sorry, that's my speaker. The style down south was pretty much boys and girls dressed the same in like, baggy jeans, polos, and like boots, She did over here. One, and I do each side 5 times. So when I started high school, I moved back up north, and I guess I kept that that same style. So I dressed like that. And it wasn't until I had a really big crush on this guy in high school. And I used to talk to my homeboy about it. And he was like, T, a guy doesn't want a girl that looks like him. Because I used to wear like I said, baggy jeans, Air Force Ones, fatigues, So a light bulb went off and I was like, oh, I should start dressing more feminine. Now, around this time, I also, is it this way? I think so. Around this time, I was also, really big into hip hop. I was really big into Nas, DMX, Redman and Method Man. I was just really like, really big on that. I used to like sleep with headphones. So I say that to say, I had a lot of masculine energy that I was carrying, not even realizing it. It was just naturally, that's all I listened to. That's what I had, masculine energy, So even though I was dressing, even though I was dressing, feminine like a girl, I had masculine energy. And I carried that energy, well into like my 20s or whatever. And it wasn't until I started really looking at my relationships with men and started being like, what's going on here? And actually also around that same time, I was working at this property, this residential property, probably some very wealthy people. And one of the ladies, and this was actually right around the time that I was starting this channel. And we had like a conversation and she was just talking to me about like, the dynamic between her and her husband. And, how they like balanced each other out with their, divine womanhood and manhood. And that was like, the dynamic that their relationship was built on, and it was good, And unfortunately, she passed, which is so sad. She was so sweet. And after she passed, I remember having a conversation with her husband, and he was just talking about how, Oh, so let me say they split time between here, Nigeria, and I think London. And I used to marvel at their relationship because, you know, she would be there in the States or here in the States, and her husband would be, you know, working over in Nigeria or over in London. And so, you know, he would probably come in every so often. And I've always admired that in a relationship, you know, like when I get married, I don't intend to be like all up under my husband all the time. Like, of course, I do want to be up under him because I'm going to love him. But like, I'm cool not to be up under him. I'd rather be in the house doing stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? Like beautifying myself so that when he comes home, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking all good, got a surprise for him, all that good stuff. But so yeah, so let's just wrap this up. Oh, I'm gonna put a timer on here, 5 minutes. Start this timer, okay. So anyway, he was having a conversation with me about how femininity, you know, seemed to be like dying, you know, here in the States or whatever, and just how important it was. And so, like I said, all of this stuff was kind of happening at the same time. I was starting this journey. I was starting to like reevaluate my relationships with men. I was starting to see that I was carrying a lot of like masculine energy. And because I was carrying a lot of masculine energy, you know, like my relationships, we would just clash, you know, like a magnet. We would be attracted to each other, but because we had that same nature, we would then repel against each other. So after having that conversation, that's when I realized like, wow, okay. So I was like, you know what? I want to commit to reclaiming my femininity because I saw it as more than just how I dressed or how I looked, you know, because even though, you know, when I'm lounging around the house or even just like running errands to the store, I'm sweatpants and t-shirt all day, like, you know. But when I go out, you know, I don't dress like a tomboy when I go out. I actually dress like a lady when I go out. But I started to see like femininity is much more than that. Like it really is a manifestation of like your inner divinity, your woman divinity or nature or whatever. And so I just said, you know, I wanted to get in touch with that. I wanted to reclaim that. And again, not reclaim it in the sense of like dressing more feminine or even like starting to wear makeup or taking time to do things to my skin, but more so really seeking God and what responsibility he has for me in being a woman. And so like when I started this channel, and I think it's probably somewhere on something, one of my abouts, but I envisioned it being like this platform being like a mother of humanity. And it was really important to me because I realized that I missed out on a lot of that stuff. Like a lot of that womanhood, I missed out on it because I spent so much time rebelling against my mom growing up. And so I know there are other people who, you know, may have lost their parents, may have had the same situation where they didn't have a relationship with their mom growing up. So, like I said, without even realizing, they've been operating in masculine energy. And so when I started this channel, that was just like really important to me. And that's what I really wanted to focus on. But then also at the same time, when I started this channel, I almost like immediately got uprooted from Atlanta to New York. When I went to New York, you know, I never had my own place. When I first moved there, I was, you know, sleeping on my god sister's sofa. Then I rented a room in Washington Heights. Then I rented another room in Bronx, which I hated. And then like the closest I got to like having my own place, oh, I'm using this. I love this. Now this is one thing my mom did put me on, honey, the L'Oreal. But she would tell me right now, you don't need all that, because I remember she said a little goes a long way. You only need a little bit. But Dad, what was I saying? Oh, the closest I did come to having like my own place, I had roommates. And I quickly saw like that wasn't for me, especially now. Like I can live with people that I know, you know, people who are similar to me, we live the same, but like living with strangers who don't live like me, I'm not really cut out for that. I honestly wish that I were, because then I would still be in New York and be probably much more happier, because honey, when I tell you I am miserable here in Philadelphia, I am miserable here in Philadelphia. So I just put my mascara on. I think I set a timer, right? When this timer goes off, I'm shutting up and I'm going. But yeah, and then also let me just go off on a little quick tangent and also say, like, y'all, it's really hard to create content when you're depressed, because like for the most part, I'm someone who's like very happy, upbeat, you know, I like to turn up, have a good time. And you know, like the saying, misery loves company, that does not apply to me. My misery likes to be alone and to lick my wounds and figure out my next plan and then like emerge like the phoenix out of the ashes. And I am really depressed right now, so it's very hard to create this content. But that's okay, I'm going to do it, because I feel like if I'm going to, like, there comes a point in your journey, especially if you're dealing with like depression, there's a point you come to where the only thing that really is going to make you feel better is your work. So I just want to push through it. But anyway, like I said, that is what inspired and motivated this this femininity journey. I really want to let go of all of the masculine energy and really, like I said, reclaim my femininity and operate in feminine energy. And like I said, a big part of that is taking care of my skin. First and foremost, it is developing my inner woman and making sure that I am plugging her into and connecting her and tuning her into God, so that I can do the things that I need to do, that I'm purposed to do. And also, like, the fringe benefit of it is, you know, I'm excited to see how my style evolves out of that, because I really do want to elevate my style. Oh, and then let me just say this really quickly, and then I'm going to go. Because the reason why, well, one of the reasons why I really want to see how like my style emerges, because when I do my videos, like my sit down videos, you know, I try to come on here looking presentable, looking decent. And a lot of times I find, and I wear makeup, and I find myself like after I've done like my hair and makeup, I don't know, I tend to kind of be not really like in awe of myself, but like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I did a good job, or I like this looks good. And then I feel like I have to preserve it. And because I feel like I'm preserving it, I almost feel stiff. And I like to do that. It's like I tap into like another bag. So whereas I've been practicing on what I wanted to say for my content, now that I've like taken this time to like try to put on my makeup and do this, my mind is now in that mode. So then to come back to that other mode of like my content, it's like we talked about in that video, there's attention residue. So I feel like I'm not delivering my videos the way that I would like to, because I just feel a little uptight, like, oh, I can't mess up anything. I got to sit still, which that's probably something that comes like out of my childhood, but we're not gonna get into that. But I want to commit to this because I really want it to be second nature, so that when I do my hair and do my makeup for my videos, it's like, oh, I'm not fazed by it. So the whole time while I'm doing it, I can still be thinking about like the stuff that I want to say. So when I turn the camera on, it can just flow. So yes, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you. And yeah, stick around for the next one. We are about to go to New York. All right, girl, come on, let's go.